Wednesday, June 18th, 2026. The G7 Summit. Evian-les-Bains, France. The leaders of the world's most powerful democracies are assembled. The President of the United States steps to the microphone and then he says it. 2 days ago, 3 days ago, a month ago, we took out 22 ships in the Iran war. A specific, confident number delivered to the world's press. There was one problem. No one could verify it. Not the Pentagon, not Allied intelligence, not a single journalist on the ground. In the Oval Office, just days earlier, Trump had told reporters that Washington, D.C. had 22 fountains. The National Park Service tracks 18. Before that, 22 Nobel Prize-winning economists proved wrong. 22 medical specialists consulted. A trip to Asia would take 22 hours. 22. A White House official, asked by NBC News to explain the pattern, had no answer. They couldn't explain it. So here is the question that nobody in Washington wants to answer out loud. When the most powerful man on earth keeps bending reality to fit a single number, what exactly is going on? And what does the number 22 actually mean? Understand how we got here. We need to go back, not years, decades. Donald Trump has always had a complicated relationship with numbers. Throughout his career in real estate, his net worth estimates routinely vary by billions, depending on the audience. But the 22 pattern is something different. It is new and it is accelerating. On January 20th, 2025, Trump was inaugurated for the second time as the 47th President of the United States. He was 78 years old, the oldest person ever sworn into the office. By March 2025, within weeks of taking power, he was already telling NBC News he wanted a third term. He said, and this is a direct quote, "There are methods which you could do it." He confirmed he was not joking. By August 2025, his poll numbers had fallen to 36% approval, the lowest of any first-year president. The 22 pattern has been catalogued by NBC News journalists Monica Alba and Caroline Kenney, published on June 21st, 2026. The pattern includes the following: verified fact-check claims, all containing the number 22, all disputed or directly contradicted by public records. First, the fountains. Trump claimed Washington, D.C. had 22 fountains, all broken, all now restored under his presidency. The National Park Service's own records show 18 fountains were involved in the restoration program, not 22. Second, the economists. Trump claimed he had proved wrong. 22 Nobel Prize-winning economists who had warned against his economic policies. No verified list of 22 Nobel economists issuing such a warning has been produced. Third, the ships. At the G7 summit in France, in front of the world's cameras, Trump stated the military had destroyed 22 ships in the war against Iran. This specific claim has not been confirmed by the Department of Defense or any allied military source. Fourth, the medical specialists. Trump described consulting 22 medical specialists for an unspecified condition. This figure is unverifiable. Fifth, 22 years of waiting. Trump told a crowd in Iowa, in reference to Operation Midnight Hammer, the June 2025 strikes on Iran, that people have been waiting 22 years to do that. The operation took place approximately 22 years after the 2003 Iraq War began, though fact-checkers note the connection is tenuous at best. In each case, the number serves the same function. It signals scale, it signals precision, it signals authority, and in each case, the underlying claim either cannot be verified or has been directly contradicted by official data. 22 is not a coincidence. 22 is a tool. But what did the world actually do with this information? The NBC News report landed on June 21st, 2026, and immediately ignited a debate that split along now familiar lines. Critics pointed to the fountain's discrepancy as the clearest proof of the pattern. 18 versus 22 is not a rounding error. It is not ambiguous. It is a verifiable, documented factual error made repeatedly and publicly by a sitting president. But here is what didn't happen. There was no formal congressional inquiry, no White House press briefing dedicated to the discrepancy, no demand. for clarification from the Republican-controlled Senate. And that is the part of this story that matters most for viewers in both the United States and the United Kingdom, because it reveals something about the current state of American accountability when a president systematically alters facts to fit a preferred number and the official apparatus of government declines to investigate. Here is what the media coverage largely missed. The number 22 is not just a random habit. It is the number of the constitutional amendment that stands directly between Donald Trump and a third term in office. The 22nd Amendment to the United States Constitution, ratified on February 27, 1951, states in plain language, no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice. That amendment, Amendment 22, is the single legal barrier between Trump's current presidency and an unprecedented third term. Steve Bannon, Trump's former chief strategist, said publicly in 2025 that Trump is going to be president in 2028. In January 2025, Andy Ogles introduced a formal resolution in Congress to amend the 22nd Amendment. In May 2026, discussing his White House ballroom renovation project, Trump said, on camera, "When I get out of office in, let's say, 8 or 9 years from now, I'll be able to use it myself." January 2029 is when his current term ends. Now consider the 3 layers of what is actually happening. Layer 1, the visible actor, a president repeatedly invoking a specific number across unrelated topics. Layer 2, the systemic force, an organized legislative and political campaign with real bills in Congress and real statements from senior allies to repeal or circumvent the constitutional amendment that bears that exact number. Layer 3, the hidden beneficiary, a normalization strategy. Every time the number 22 is heard in a neutral or positive context, fountains restored, ships destroyed, economists defeated, it subtly reshapes the public's emotional relationship with that number. The amendment that once sounded like a firm legal wall begins to sound like just another number in a list. This may be overreach, it may be coincidence, but it is documented, and the question is legitimate. History is precise on this point. Every nation that has watched term limits erode has followed a documented pattern. In 2018, China's Xi Jinping eliminated presidential term limits. Trump publicly praised that decision. The 22nd Amendment itself was born from a specific fear. Franklin D. Roosevelt won 4 consecutive presidential elections in 1932, 1936, 1940, and 1944. He died in office in 1945. Republicans and Southern Democrats, fearing that pattern would repeat, passed the amendment through Congress in 1947. It was ratified by 41 states and became law on February 27, 1951. It has held for 75 years. Constitutional law scholars are consistent. Kermit Roosevelt, professor at the University of Pennsylvania Law School, stated clearly, "There is no realistic possibility that the 22nd Amendment could be repealed. Repealing it would require 2/3 of both chambers of Congress and ratification by 38 states. But repeal is not the only path. The legal debate around the word elected in the amendment's text leaves open, and scholars dispute this fiercely, whether a president who reaches the White House through succession rather than election could serve additional time. No Supreme Court ruling has ever settled that question, and it has never been tested. He has sold real hats reading Trump 2028, and a White House official cannot explain why the number 22 keeps appearing. There are 2 possible conclusions. Either the leader of the free world has developed an unexplained fixation on a single number, and the repeated factual errors are simply the byproduct of a habit nobody can explain, or the number 22 has a specific meaning inside the Trump political operation, and that meaning is directly connected to the constitutional barrier that stands in the way of a 3rd presidential term.